guys, I've got a nice little project today and I thought we would use some recycle some card. So this is just off a packing box that I had, and when you peel off the back of the boxes you get this lovely corrugated card underneath. So I thought we would use some of that instead of throwing it away. So this one was a bit hard to peel off, but these are really lovely and they give a really good texture to your projects. So I'm going to make some like journal toppers for the front of your journal. Now I've got a little cover here. This is a cover that I'm making and we've got 4.5 by 6 inches, and I've actually made these 3 inches by 5 inches and they fit on there perfect. So if you're making a bunch of little journals to give people, these are really quick and easy to do. This one I've actually got a little tag on the front, so they look really lovely and they just fit perfect. You can just stick them or sew them onto the front of your journal. That looks a nice sort of boho one, doesn't it? So I'm going to show you how to make those. They're very quick and easy. Excuse me. And the base of it, I've actually used some of my coffee stain card, and as I've said in a previous video, I buy it in the big pieces of card. So this is a smaller piece and all I do is I coffee stain it. So I just get a big tub of coffee. I just use the granulated coffee, which is the instant coffee, and then I just paint it on with a paintbrush. And lucky enough, because obviously I live in Portugal, it's not warm enough at the moment, but I pop it in the garden and within 10-15 minutes it's normally dry, so it's fantastic. So I try and do lots of that in the summertime, so I've got lots of stock, and this is what it comes out like. So I've just cut these 3 by 5, and then let's pop these to the side. So actually I'll just tell you what I've got on them. I've just layered them up, so we've got the back here, and then I've got a piece of the corrugated card, and then I've just made a little tag, and I make these tags out of all the leftover bits of card that I've got. So I've got some little tags, so anytime I have any leftover card I make them into little tags. So there's that one. This one here again, I just layer 2 on one on top of the other. We've got lovely little embellishment there and some little bit of bling, so they're really lovely. And this is just the card layered up with a word peace on there. So that's got a little bit there of corrugated card. I've got a little bit of cheesecloth, another piece of corrugated card, and a piece of coffee stain card, which is lovely. And I've used some napkins. Now these are the napkins I've used, and we've just gessoed over the top. So that's the blue one, which is lovely, and this one is very bright. But you would, because I've dulled it down, I've used a little bit of gesso on top. And then the green one is this one here. So they look completely different, don't they? So let's pop those to the side. And this one I'm going to make out of this one, which is beautiful, isn't it? Looks like little tiles. So let's get a piece of card. Let's see if that will fit on there. Yes, that's perfect. So all as I've done, or all as I do, take a piece of this. Let's cover this up first. Just tear it a little bit off. You don't want to sort of, maybe a little bit of card showing underneath. Let's just tear a little bit down there, so we can stick that on there. So this is a 3-ply one. So we want to take the last 2 layers off. So we're just left with a lovely top layer like that. And what I've done, I've actually, I'm using my Mod Podge today. And this, I've found my stencil brush. And I thought that would be ideal, which is really good because you can just get into the little grooves in there with your glue. So what I've done, I've just popped a little bit of glue over the top, because obviously you can't get in the grooves with a glue stick as easy, and because they're going to go on the front of your journals, it's better to pop a little bit of Mod Podge, or if you've got any decoupage glue, which would be perfect. So if you just poke it down so it gets into all those little grooves, And the little stencil brush is perfect to do that. So we've got that down there. Oopsie daisy. Just stick it all down. I'll give it a quick blast with my heat gun in a minute. But what I would like to do is pop that there. Oops. Take that off. I'm going to add a little bit to here, because when we put that on top, you can sort of see this corner. It would be quite nice just to have just a little bit of colour underneath. Gosh, I'm getting napkins stuck everywhere. So let's just take this little piece off there and pop it there, look. A little bit of glue. Pop that down there. Just brush that on. Just be gentle with it. Just stick it down. And then that just fits over the top like that. So you've got that nice bit underneath. Well, I just want to give it a quick blast with my heat gun. Okay, so that's dry. Let me pop the lid back on here before I spill it. Okay, pop this over here. Right, now I'm going to just give a little bit of gesso over the top. That just sort of like mutes it down just a little bit. So this is just my pot of gesso on here. So I'm just going to go just a little bit around the edges. And don't need to do the middle because that will be covered up. So that just goes on there, a little bit down there. A little bit over the top. Like that. You can put as much or as little on as you like. But as I've said in previous videos, just add a little bit, and if you want more you can add more, because it is difficult to sort of get rid of gesso. Quick blast again. And then I'm going to just ink the edges. Just wipe that gesso before it goes all over the place. There we go. So I'm just using ground espresso on this one. It's quite dark, so just use whatever ink you would like to use. I normally just use the vintage photo one. So just ink the edges just a little bit. There we go. So that will sit on top of that like there. So what I've done on these, I've actually sewn around the edges just to give a little bit more texture on here. So I've just gone around the sewing machine, and you can sew on the corrugated card. It's really easy because it's quite soft. So I've just sewn around the edges there. But I won't do it on this one, but you can, so you don't have to do it. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to make a little tag. Okay, so these are the little ones. I'm going to pop a little tag on it. I'm going to pop this on there because I think that brightens it up just a lovely little bit. And then we shall make a tag. Now I've got my little thing. Now that's my thank you ones. Let me have a look. I've got my other ones here. There we go. Nice little folder with little words in it. Now what shall we have? What did we put on the other ones? We had peace and believe. So what shall we have here? We could have dream, couldn't we, on this one? Let's put that there. Just tear little bits off the edge. Here. There we go. Right. So let's ink the edges up on here. Just a little bit. And then we shall add, I've got my little bit of cheesecloth on here. So this, even if you've got some sort of like little fibres or a little bit of fabric, you can pop behind, because it gives it another, again, it gives a little bit more texture on there. And it's quite nice on the front of journals or little toppers, just to have a little bit of texture on there. So I'm going to just squodge that down like that. Pop a little bit of ink around the edge of this one. And I'm going to stick this one on with a little bit of 3-in-1, because then we know it's going to stick properly. Just a little bit of that on there. Oopsie daisy. Like so. Okay, that's the wrong lid. Pop that onto there, and what I shall do, I think, before I stick that down, I'm going to pop that on there, but I'm going to get a little brad here, like I've got a little, oopsie daisy, bag of brads here, so we'll just have a little one there. So where can we put that? Make sure we've got it in the right place. Just go on there. So now I need my little pokey tool. What have I done with that? Here it is. Just make a little hole through there. Pop that through. Open up the back. There we go. We've got a little tag on the front. And we can just pop that on top like that. So I think that looks quite nice, doesn't it? So let's glue this on the back. Bit of 3-in-1, or you can use PVA, whatever you like. Oops. Stick that down. We can just stick that on here, whatever. It's quite nice there actually. You can actually sew this on, or you can just stick it on as well. But we know the 3-in-1, or if you've got Fabri-Tac, we know that they stick really well, and it's not going to go anywhere. So there we go, quick and easy topper for one of your journals. Or again, you can have it as a little tuck spot if you've got a bigger journal, or you can make them smaller. But I think they look really, really nice and very quick, and really good to use up your bits of cardboard. So that looks really nice. So there we go, it's another quick little recycle project for you. Use up all your bits and pieces. Okay guys, thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you next time. Alright, take care, bye bye.